introduce a few of my friends to you today. Living in Singapore, you have to learn how to live in peace and harmony. And that's why I have friends of different races and religion. And you know what? I really like to learn about the different kinds of traditions and cultures from all of them. And later on, we are going to do some different kinds, different dances, performances for you. Oh, and where's my friend? He's really late today. Raghu! Hey, there he is! Raghu! Hey, Raghu! Here! Raghu, here!
Hey, Ling! Long time no see, how are you?
Hey. Yeah. Oh, I see that you are dressed up today. Wow, you look really handsome, huh?
Really? Thank you. You look pretty too.
Thank you.
Wait, you do know what day today is, right?
What day?
You don't know? Okay. Let me give you a hint. Today, 21st July, is the day where Singapore celebrates its success as a racially harmonious nation.
Okay, you're talking about Racial Harmony Day, right?
Yes.
Of course I know, see? I'm dressed up.
Yeah.
By the way, who's that pretty girl behind you?
Oh, that's my new friend, Nat.
Nat?
Mm.
Hello. Oh, hi, Nat. I've never seen you before. Do you come to this city often?
Oh.
But I'm coming here always, but I never see you.
Oh, my parents just moved here. They got a new job over here. And we would really have loved to go back to visit our relatives, but because of COVID, we can't. We're stuck here.
I know, right? This COVID is really a thing. All the more we should live harmoniously and united, because we must learn about the other cultures and races as well.
Yeah. We should learn how to live in peace and harmony and not blame one another, especially in this COVID situation. I know everyone's getting crazy because of this pandemic, but all of us has got a part to play in keeping this community safe and cooperate to mask up. And by the way, how did the two of you meet?
Oh, I saw Nat here in our CC and she was looking all lost, so I went out to help her.
Hey, it wasn't that bad. Okay, I was a bit lost because I was supposed to get vaccinated over here at Geylang Serai CC. But because I'm new, like I mentioned, I got lost, I didn't know where to go. I was worried, but thank goodness Raghu was here to help me out with directions.
Wow, a gentleman again. Raghu is always ready to help, especially when he sees a pretty girl.
Don't be naughty, ah. Actually, it's not that. It's because as a Singaporean, I am proud to do my part for the community and help those in need. After all, we are sharing a common space. So we should all stay connected and united to help others. That is why we celebrate Racial Harmony Day every year, right?
Yeah, but there are still people who don't understand how to live harmoniously together.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's like sometimes people actually don't understand what is happening. They are not really educated, so they have no idea who, what or where they are, and this day is actually celebrated to commemorate the racial riots that happened on the 21st of July 1964.
Ah, I think I read about it, and that's why we have Racial Harmony Day. But 1964, wasn't that when Singapore was still a part of Malaysia, am I right? I remember my grandfather told me a bit about this, like the whole riot left 22 people losing their lives and left several other hundreds injured as well. And the worst part, not only that, after that, there were still other several communal riots that left many injured through the 50s and the 60s leading up to and even after Singapore's independence in August 1965.
Yes, that's why we celebrate Racial Harmony Day, to remember that day and be thankful that as time progresses, so does the maturity of our people. We learn about the other culture and race.
Yeah, that's why people should not forget that we have to live harmoniously together, right?
Yes, that is why the National Education Program launched this Racial Harmony Day celebration in 1997. It was organized by Ministry of Education for schools.
Oh, so this is why on Racial Harmony Day, students all across the nation are seen wearing multi-ethnic costumes.
Yes, and the traditional costumes are usually the cheongsam, baju kurung, and the sari.
So just to confirm, Racial Harmony Day was implemented in schools in Singapore so that we can educate the younger ones about the importance of living in a multiracial and multi-religious society such as Singapore.
Yeah, this is an annual community effort to strengthen the Singaporean ties, regardless of race and religion, and to celebrate our diversity.
Like I said, students, especially children nowadays, they don't know what is happening in Singapore. So we must also make our effort to, make them be well aware of who they are, where we are, so that they can learn from our past.
Yes, I think that is so important. You see, like, we have so many cultures here, and every culture has its own different way of doing things. And I honestly think it's up to us to learn and appreciate and also respect the kind of different cultures that people have. Oh, and I'm super duper interested in the kinds of different things we have to offer in each culture. We have so many kinds of different music, dances, musical instruments, and oh, the best part, the delicacies.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, talking about food, I am so feeling hungry now.
Ling, you haven't eaten yet?
No, of course not. Don't you remember we have to do some dances later? I don't like to dance with a booster.
Oh yes, we get to show all our multi-ethnic dances later. I'm so excited. Oh, there's one more thing I'm super fascinated with, by the way. It's all the kinds of musical instruments we have as well. Every different culture has a different thing. So interesting.
Yes, here for Chinese instruments, we have instruments that you could pluck, you could stroke. There's bowed instruments, or even a combination of two of this.
Pluck, so like a guitar?
We have something like the guitar. It's like a pipa, but you don't play it like that. You bring it straight out and you play it like that. But one of the oldest Chinese instruments is called guqin. It's a 7-string zither.
7-string zither. Oh, I think I've seen that in my previous school before. We had an orchestra of it, but it was called
guzheng.
Yes.
Yes, that is called the guzheng, and most of the schools that has got this guzheng ensemble. But guzheng is different from guqin. Guqin is 7-string zither. They have 7 strings, but guzheng has 21 strings. And guqin is one of the oldest instruments. That was the earliest record that was found was about like 5,000 years ago, but official records of it started like about 3,000 years ago. And guzheng is only founded in some time near the Tang Dynasty. Yeah, and one fun fact is the guzheng has got a piece of music that's called Liu Shui that was actually played and sent to outer space from at NASA.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know so much.
Yes, of course, because I played both of the instruments.
Okay.
Oh, that is so cool. Oh, but have you ever seen like a flute of some sorts? I remember seeing somebody playing some Chinese flute before, and it was so soothing and so beautiful.
Yeah, in the Chinese instruments, we have different kinds of flutes, but two of the more common ones are the dizi and xiao. The xiao is the one that you play like that looks like, like how you play a recorder, and then the dizi is the one that's horizontal.
Oh.
Yeah.
She really knows a lot. And what about you, Raghu? What instruments are in the Indian culture?
They're pretty much similar. We have like sitar, tampura, and we have like both strings, and we also have flute as well.
Yeah.
And we also have other instruments like the mirdangam and veena.
Oh, Veena! I know the Veena. Yeah, she's my neighbor. She's my friend. Veena.
Ned, I'm talking about an instrument, veena.
Oh,
Okay, let me explain. Veena is actually a stringed instrument that also looks sort of like the guitar, and it's played while you're sitting cross-legged, and it's made of a lot of parts like the kudam, the dandi, the yari. So when you sit cross-legged, right, the kudam is on your right leg. So that is how it's played, and it's one of the oldest Indian instrument, and can date back to the first millennium BC. Yes, and it has actually been portrayed in our Hindu goddess of knowledge, Saraswati's picture. She sits on a lotus and she plays the veena. Yeah.
Whoa, that is a lot of things. I find it so cool how there's so many different varieties of instruments available. But at the end of the day, it seems like we all have some sort of similarities here and there. Like we all have our own version of the violin, our own version of the flute, and even the guitar as well. That's so fascinating.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's why we celebrate our racial harmony together. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, where's Nadia?
Oh, Nadia called me. She said she's late because she's rushing from work. She's stuck in traffic.
Late again.
We gotta excuse her, right?
Yeah. Okay, anyway, I think I need to go first. I need to prepare for my dance performance.
Okay, see you
Alright,
later.
see you.
Bye.
Bye. And bye, Raghu. I gotta go out too to practice with my partner.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
See you soon.
What a beautiful representation to what Singapore is. In short, a multicultural, multi-ethnic society. It is Racial Harmony Day today, which happens every 21st of July. And here at Geylang Serai Community Club, we want to celebrate the success of a racially harmonious and secular nation. My name is Sharina Beinson, and I am your host for this evening. Today's program, we're going to be understanding deeper into the races of Singapore. We have our Chinese friends, our Malay friends, our Indian friends, and our Eurasian friends. And we have a short entertainment segment happening later on as well, where you get to see all the different cultural dances. But that's later, because right now we're going to be discovering more truths and tackle some hard questions, but all in the name of understanding one another better. To join me today and also co-chair the dialogue session, let's welcome our guest of honor, Mayor of Southeast District, Mr. Fahmi Aliman.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Mr. Fahmi. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for joining us here at the Geylang Serai Virtual CC. Coincidentally, it was Hari Raya Haji yesterday. So, Selamat Hari Raya Haji to you and your family and your loved ones. How was your celebration?
Well, it was a very simple one.
Ah.
Obviously, it's quite difficult to get the space in the mosque now because of the safety, the measure. So what we did was actually we in the morning wake up, we prayed at home with the family, and then after that we had our meal, normal meal, and from then onwards we gave some phone calls to our my in-laws, and then in the afternoon my sister-in-law came by. And then we had some makan and some discussion, and that's about it. It's all at home, cozy with the family.
Just keeping it close and tight.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
That sounds really nice. I mean, we have to make do with whatever that we have, right?
Yeah.
And also joining us today, we're going to be having a chat with 4 different guests, all of different ethnicities, and we're going to be touching on some topics, some that has been on the tip of people's tongues, but hardly ever mentioned. So, are you ready, Mr. Fahmi?
All right, I'm good.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's kickstart our dialogue session with a chat from our Indian friend. We've got Singapore superstar, actor and MC, Mr. KP Sandhu.
Hey, thank you very much, Sharina. Thank you.
Hey, KP. I like your outfit today.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, very cultural.
For all the people who are going to be watching the program, I'm the only one in the cultural attire. But it's also because it's red and white because National Day is around the corner, and I have no idea what we're going to be doing on National Day.
Okay.
So I thought, let me just mix up both these things together. And you're going to be talking to members of the other communities as well, right?
Of course.
So on behalf of my community, thank you for letting the Indians go first.
Hey, you don't say I also wear batik and modern cheongsam.
You look beautiful. You always look beautiful.
Thank you.
You look good, yeah.
All right, so Mr. Fahmi, are you a second or third generation Singaporean Malay?
I think I'm on the third generation.
Third generation.
Yes.
And KP, how about you? Also,
I am second generation.
you are second generation.
That's right. Yeah.
So how do you feel being a second generation Indian in Singapore right now?
Well, it feels good. I think the third generation would never understand some of the stuff that the second generation went through.
Okay.
Growing up as an Indian or as a Sikh, I'm Punjabi, I'm Sikh.
Okay.
So it's good, it's cool. I think there's certain parts of our cultures that were still retained and maintained through our festivals, our celebrations, that might unfortunately lose its appeal with the third generation. Unfortunately, I feel sorry for them because they're beautiful parts of the culture. So, do I feel good being second generation? You bet. I love it. Yeah.
How about you, Mr. Fahmi? You mentioned you're a third generation. How does it make you feel being a third generation Malay here in Singapore?
No, I guess what KP said is true, in the sense that sometimes you really got to try hard to get them involved in cultural.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And then after that, to get them come to that show is also quite difficult. So for myself, I'm kind of interested in some of that, culture, music, and so on and so forth. So I kind of pay attention to it. I wanted to listen to it, but there are some of my friends actually not. So it's quite a challenge, and I think it takes a lot of the community effort to bring it back. And that's the reason why sometimes in my own interactions with the resident, in my own team, my MCube team, culture is one of the key things that we look at. So we want to bring back culture to here and so on and so forth.
That's very good because I also feel as a modern Singaporean, we're losing our culturalism a little bit, right, KP? You are a modern Indian man.
I am.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you being an Indian, right? People always assume that being Indian you speak Tamil, but you actually speak Punjabi and you don't speak Tamil.
I don't. I wish I did. It's a beautiful language, but
Yes.
I get where you're going with this.
Correct, but how? So because of that, how can we educate the people of Singapore that the different classifications of the Indians, which means doesn't mean you're Indian you speak Tamil,
Yeah.
or doesn't mean you're Malay you speak Malay. Maybe you
That's
you
true.
learn Chinese,
That's
right?
true. That's true. Or some of them might speak Arabic.
Yes.
For that matter.
Correct. Yeah.
I think it starts from school. I think it starts from school where it's very good to we all Chinese, Malay, Indian, but I think what we don't understand is under these groups there's so many subgroups, right? Like from the Indian community, why do I not speak Tamil? Because India itself is a huge country. It's got 100 over national languages.
Yep.
Okay, it's a fact.
It's a
Yes.
The North predominantly speak Hindi.
Yeah.
The South predominantly speak Tamil.
Yes.
And I'm North Indian, so my family resides, or at least they came from the Punjab region, hence I speak Punjabi as my mother tongue. And Tamil is a completely different ballgame. It's a completely different ballgame. But then again, now, for example, if I'm going to mention there are languages like Bengali, Gujarati, Urdu. All these are actually non-Tamil Indian languages that Singaporeans have been taking since PSLE. But people don't know about it. So I think this starts from school, when we educate our future generation about the various cultures that Singapore can be proud of. It's also important to go a little deeper, that hi, I'm Indian, but this is my culture and I love that culture, but unfortunately I don't conform to the majority, because the majority of Indians in Singapore are South Indians and I love them as my brothers and sisters. But it starts from school, I think.
So you going back to the education, what do you have to think? What do you have to say about that?
No, I just in the moment when he was talking about the language, right?
Yes.
I always remember that every time when I meet Indian friends, somehow or other I speak to them in Malay, and somehow or other they will reply back in Malay.
Yes.
So this is very unique. I don't know how this come about, but it seems like natural. Is this very natural? Is it because you take Malay in second language, or how is this done? Yeah.
Yeah, because for me,
Yeah.
I did take Malay as a second language for the first 3 years, from primary 1 to primary 3. And then when the option came to take, like the languages I had mentioned, Punjabi, Gujarati, when that option came to take that as a tested language for PSLE in O-levels, I jumped ship. My mom said, why don't you just take your language this case.
Okay.
Yes, be true to yourself.
So be true to yourself. I mean, that's why Malay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It kind of rolls off the tongue very easily.
Yeah.
But I stuck to Punjabi.
But I also realize that now, when you talk to the youngsters,
Yes.
they can't speak the Malay language that much.
They're not as
So
good.
at a certain age, when I look at KP, that's why I can I can speak Malay to him.
He's like the final generation.
Yeah. Then after that, any younger than that is very, they will not understand.
They would not. They
Yeah,
would not.
is that true?
Yeah. Like what we call the Bawa block Malay, that everybody
Oh yes.
can.
I hear you, KP. We're in
you
the
get
same
what I'm trying to say.
generation. Yes.
Right. Okay, we are on the same
We're
generation.
on the same
yeah.
page. We're on the same generation. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
That's
but
good.
unfortunately, the younger generation is purely English or their mother tongue. right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So
But-
will you think that it's good to learn the national language?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the English language is important because it's where the business and so on and so forth. But language is something unique, where you got to put effort to learn it. For me, I pick up Chinese, and I pick up along the way. But then after that, since you don't use it, that's
Yes,
it. It's
you
gone.
forget about it.
It's gone. So again, it's through friends actually. When you talk to your friends,
Absolutely.
and then so on and so forth, and then the comfort level of speaking that language will be helping you to to remember this and so on and so forth. So I think it's important to do that, and it's important to have a second different language so that you can connect to people. A simple word. So this is what I'm doing now. So when I meet my Chinese resident, I try to use simple language, or even some of the Chinese language, so that they say, not bad, you can speak some language.
A little bit of multi-cross
Yes, exactly,
cultural there.
yeah.
What do you think, KP?
Sharina, I
可以
think
讲华语吗？
I was just going to say that you and I will understand
Yes.
as MCs, as
Yes.
professional MCs, when you have to go and host and you are hosting in front of a melting pot of
Yes.
cultures, you go. 大家晚上好，我的名字 KP， selamat datang tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, and I know some Tamil. எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம்.
Baik.
Baik.
Very good, KP.
So I am truly Singaporean, and
Fantastic.
in that sense. So I think knowing the language is great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and of course, being exposed to different friends of different races,
Yes.
people of different races, and that makes you more of a melting pot of Singapore.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I even say that the best way to learn somebody's language, a good start, is by enjoying their songs.
Yes.
You enjoy a song. I love some Chinese Malay
Exactly.
songs. I might not immediately understand what they mean, but
Yes.
I want to understand what they mean because I want to feel the song just a little bit.
Or
more.
at least pick some words, yeah? Yeah. Okay. With that, KP, thank you very much for joining us and
No
being the
problem.
first guest of this evening right here.
Yes. Mia, thank you so
Alright, man,
much.
thank you.
Sharina,
Yes.
tomorrow phase 2 starting, right?
Yes.
I'll see you 1 month later.
See you 1 month later. Yes, bungra your way out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our first guest, Mr. KP Sandhu. And of course, with me, our guest of honor right here, Mr. Fahmi. Mr. Fahmi, how are you doing so far?
Fantastic.
Fantastic,
Yes.
because we have our second guest coming
Yes.
in right about now. And joining us this evening, you hear him, you see him. He is a radio presenter and celebrity. And it's none other than Mark Van Cullenberg, a.k.a. the Flying Dutchman.
Exactly.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
All right, Mark, did I pronounce your last name correctly?
It's been pronounced Cullenberg, Kylenberg, Cucumber. I really don't care anymore. It's fine, don't worry about it. I'm not that sensitive about my name.
Okay, so do you prefer people call you Mark or do people call you FD?
People call me FD.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the day my children forget my name and call me FD as well.
You don't want them to call you Dad.
Yeah, it'll end eventually.
All right, thank you so much, FD, for joining us for this racial harmony virtual celebration. Now, guys, you're wondering why we have an Angmo on the show.
I'm not Angmo.
Well, Mark is actually Singaporean. Right, Mark? Please say that's legit.
I am absolutely Singaporean. I am third generation Singaporean. I am technically Eurasian.
Indeed, indeed. And that's why you're joining us right here to represent or to talk on behalf of the Eurasian race right there. So, Mark, just a quick one. Do you feel like you are being treated differently here just because you're white?
Oh, yeah,
Here in
definitely.
Singapore, yeah.
Because I'm white, not because I'm Eurasian. There's a difference, yeah?
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen as much now.
Okay.
But when I was growing up, the places you never went to, Sim Lim Towers, because they saw white skin, all the prices all went up.
Oh,
Like I said, it doesn't happen now.
yeah.
But what does happen is people tend to expect a lot more from you. You're white. They expect a lot more from you.
Why? Is it because they think you are superior or sort?
I don't know. Are we still living with this colonial overshadow?
I don't know. Mr. Fahmi, what do you think about that?
No, I think we passed that.
We should have passed
Yeah,
it by
we've
now.
passed it,
And
yeah.
yet, and I was having this conversation with my daughter yesterday.
Huh.
She's like me, very fair. And she says from the time she was young in school, people expected more from her for 2 reasons. 1, she was white, and 2, she had a white name.
Okay, so you're saying that people judge her by their last names,
By your
by her last name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because your daughter is Eurasian. You married a
Yeah.
Chinese wife, correct?
Yeah.
So that makes your daughter Eurasian.
Eurasian, but
So-
she's very fair.
So is she being treated differently in school?
The expectations were a lot higher.
Okay.
And that wasn't only in school, but it was when she went out to work as well.
Wow, even up till now.
Yeah, up till now. The expectations, because you're white, are higher. And I don't comprehend that. I don't comprehend that.
Mr. Fahmi, what do you
Yeah, I
think?
mean,
Why do you think that they expect a little bit more from our from our white
Fair-skinned
counterparts?
people.
Yeah, I mean, I guess when you watch the TVs, the Hollywood effect, so on and so
Hollywood
forth,
effect.
it comes from that point where actually you see most of that movies come from, from that particular group of people, and then realize, hey, actually they're pretty good. They look well, they well dressed, so the expectation went up. I think
Maybe
in that sense.
could be what it is.
Yeah, it could be one of it. Yeah.
It could be what it is.
How about yourself? Do you experience this a lot?
Okay, you
Recently,
know,
no?
I have not experienced it except when I first started in my career.
Okay.
Because remember, my career did not start with radio. It started as an entertainer on stage. And when I reached a certain level of success, it was because I was white.
Oh,
It's because you're white and your English is very good. Or as they say, your England very powerful.
yes.
You know? But it was that. It was, and I saw it. I saw it on stage where because I was white, I could get away with things that Chinese, Indian, and Malay MCs couldn't do. But the people in the audience looked at me and went, "Siao Ang Mo." And I could get away with it.
Wow. Well, lucky you.
Lucky me.
Yes.
You know? But that sort of thing, I think, is slowly waning up.
Okay.
I think our entertainers here have reached a level now where they play on an even field now. And I think that's very, very
But that's
important.
good. That's a good start.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
very good
Yeah,
start.
yeah.
So, because I believe you have 3 daughters?
I have 4 daughters.
4
and-
daughters, excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, so they are technically Eurasians, right?
Yes.
So, on behalf of them, do you feel like being a Eurasian, it's a disadvantage because they are minority of the races of Singapore?
Okay, I'm going to say things that make some people really upset.
Go for it, Abdi.
I don't think your race is a disadvantage. Whether you're Chinese, Malay, Indian, Eurasian, Pakistani, I don't care what you are. I'll tell you a true story. Take a look at what you see now. People say I'm successful. People say I've reached my peak. People say I've heard the word legend. I've heard all kinds of words used to describe me. I'm a Singapore boy with an O-level certificate. I fought to get to where I am. So if you feel disadvantaged, chances are I want you to ask this question. Are you disadvantaged because you don't have what you want, or you can't get what you want? 2 different things, right? If you want something, go out there and chase it. Find a way of getting it. Sometimes it's harder for some people, but at the end you get it. So when you say, are Eurasians disadvantaged because we're a minority? I do not believe so.
You do not believe so?
I do not believe so.
Okay, how about you, Mr. Fahmi? Like being a Malay or being an Indian, do you think, because Chinese are the majority of Singapore, right? So what do you think about the other races?
I totally resonate with FD in that sense that, even we are minority, you really got to work, work hard. You got to really prove to people that you are on par and you can do even better.
How about the social stigma that goes on about all the different races? Like the stereotypes, unfortunately.
Okay, there are many stereotypes,
Yeah.
and I was just talking about this just now.
Okay.
If we let's take Eurasians, Chinese, Malays, Indians. In my mind, of the 4, the one that has developed the most is the Malay. You know why? 30, 40 years ago, did you ever see a Malay own a BMW or a Mercedes? But he does today. Did you ever see a Malay in large, good class landed property? No, but you see it today.
You see more today.
You see more today,
Yeah.
right? So come on. These guys worked for it.
That's true.
It's all about working for it. I think many people these days use the disadvantaged, use the pushed down, the held back as an excuse for not attaining what they want.
Or maybe that's just old people thinking and then it just gets through the generations.
I hope not. I really hope not.
That's why I thought it's important to show what success look like
Yes.
in the family. You know, for example, if the family always see the negativity, the not being successful,
Right.
we need to find way to make them see what is it success look like. And then from there, once they taste the success,
Yeah.
they continue to do well. They want to
Yeah.
do more. They want to carry on.
Yeah.
And that's how we've been doing.
Yeah.
At least for me, that's how I've been doing. You
So
know,
your
I
upbringing
continue-
and breaking.
and I continue to
Yeah.
work hard, continue to aim what I wanted
Yeah.
to achieve.
Yeah, that's good. That's an inspiration right there. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're feeling set back because of the color of your skin, please do not feel that way.
No, don't.
Yeah. FD, I've got one final question for you
Yeah.
before we have to move on to our next guest.
Yeah.
So, Eurasian culture used to be so rich back in the days, huh? So, what do you think defines the new Eurasian culture right now, this century? Because back then, it's all about, the majority of Eurasians have Portuguese, Malaccan ancestry, right? And whenever people talk about Eurasian, they only talk about devil's curry and suji cake. Why?
Okay, in the old days, it was curry devil, it was suji cake, and feng. It was one or two classic curse words, which are in every Eurasian's vocabulary.
What is it?
Okay, we can say it. We're on social media,
We're
right?
live.
Every Eurasian at some point in his life will use the word swine.
Okay.
Always, you're a swine. It will happen. And a couple of other words that I can't even say on the internet. But I think a lot of us have forgotten that is not the sole Eurasian we have. We tend to think of this old school Eurasian, and that culture is very strong here. Even the young are picking it up. It's a very strong culture, and I'm very appreciative of it, because I am Singaporean first, Eurasian second.
Fantastic, man.
Yeah, but we are forgetting a whole group, the new Eurasian,
Yes.
the Italian Chinese, the German Indian, the Spanish Malay, for example. However it's done, these are a new group who haven't quite got their culture together yet.
Okay.
And it will take time, because it took us a long time to get our culture sorted out. Because at one time we were very fragmented. We had the upper 10 Eurasians and then all the others. We were a fragmented group.
Okay.
Slowly we're coming together. But don't judge all Eurasians based on that.
Yeah.
There's a whole new community of Eurasians who are well educated, well spoken, polite, wonderful people. Not that the older ones are, but they're a group that no one looks at now. We look at the old school Eurasian.
Correct. So these people are the ones that I grew up with, and when you think about them, I feel like the current Eurasian practice is being diminished.
Oh, I don't know,
Yeah.
they're not being diminished. Practices like what? Like the devil curry, the thing, and the suji cake? No.
Or
They're-
being able to talk Malay, because usually Eurasians, they speak Malay back
Yeah,
then.
they should be speaking Kristan. That's what they should be speaking. And a lot of the younger ones now
Yeah.
are beginning to learn that.
Oh, that's very
Because
good.
it's an interesting language.
No, okay.
It's a very interesting language. So younger ones, I've got cousins who are in their 30s and early 40s who are learning Kristan. And that's important. That's part of the culture. But it is only part of the Eurasianness of Singapore.
Okay.
It is not solely the Eurasianness of Singapore. And we have to remember that. This young group
Yes.
of Eurasians, what I call the new Eurasians, are going to be very, very powerful one day.
Wow.
All right, Mr. Fahmi, what do you think? How can we bring these new Eurasians together?
Wow, Raymond, no, it kept me thinking, because now in my job as a mayor, I have a group of district councillors,
Yeah.
and one or two of the district councillors come from the Eurasian Association. Yes, correct. So I'm always wondering, how can I see the new Eurasian groups involved in the association?
Yeah.
Because at this current juncture, I only see the senior ones,
Yeah.
but I have not seen the young ones. So that kind of resonates pretty well, because I wanted to know more about the young
Because
ones.
you see, the Eurasian Association does some fantastic work. They have one of the best heritage museums I've been to.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. But we need to help them get this new group in.
Yes, yes.
These 20-something
Yes.
new Eurasians to help. Because once the old Eurasian is gone, that association will have no relevance.
Exactly.
That's true, yeah.
We need to get the young in. And if you can help, that would be just amazing. It would be.
Fantastic.
Well, we hope for the new Eurasians to come together. You never know. Maybe 2 years down the road, 5 years down the road, we'll see something different.
Yeah, I hope so. Because they've got a lot to offer. They've got a lot to offer.
All right. And with that, FD, thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so much.
joining us.
Thank you.
And celebrating Racial Harmony Day with us right here at Geylang Serai Virtual CC.
Remember, no matter who you are, you're Singaporean first and then whatever you
All
are.
right, man.
That's right. That's
That's
how
me.
you say it.
Thanks,
Thank you,
guys.
FD.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we've seen our Indian friend, we've seen our Eurasian friend, and coming right now, we're going to be having our Malay friend to join us right here. And to do that, let's welcome him in. We have the treasurer of Muslim Trust Fund Association and a senior financial consultant of Professional Investment Advisory Services. This is Mr. Syed Jafar Madihi. Hi,
Right.
Jafar.
Hi.
Hi. Do you celebrate Hari Raya Haji, right?
Yes, we
So
do.
Selamat Hari Raya Haji to you.
Thank you.
How was your celebration?
Good so far.
Good so far. Okay,
It's been quiet.
it's been quiet.
As you know, it's COVID right now. I
Yes.
think the whole idea of there's no, the goats, the mosque, it's a quiet event.
Yeah. Keep it safe. Yes.
Yeah, I think Mr. Fahmi also had a quiet
Quiet one.
celebration. I think the past 2 years have been quiet. This year and last year. Well, save money, budget, very good. So are you a third generation Singaporean?
Yes.
This is just like Mr. Fahmi as well. So how do you feel being a third generation Singaporean Arab? Okay, you're a third generation Arab, right? And
yes.
will you classify yourself as to represent the Malay community or as being a Malay?
You see, because the thing, I'm the third generation here in Singapore.
Yes.
First, we speak the language. Why being an Arab third generation, we speak the language? We don't regard Malay as a second language. We regard Malay as a national language.
Okay.
So if my forefathers will actually come to China, I think we will be speaking Chinese. Oh, okay. So one thing is because we speak the language. Second, when the Arabs came to Singapore, also Islam also came to Singapore. Religion came together. So the Malays were the first community to actually embrace religion. So the culture, the beliefs are all in tandem. Lastly, when they came, most of the Arabs were actually married the locals. So on my maternal side, there'll be Malays, grandmas, aunties and stuff like that. So in other words, we assimilate into the community. So am I consider myself part of the Malay community? Yes. But we also part of the bigger community, the Muslim communities. Like and also part of Singapore.
That's good. Yeah, I think you have to identify yourself as being a Singaporean first before anything else. And from what the general public understands, the Muslims, right? They have to contribute to zakat, correct, Mr. Fahmi?
Yeah, yes.
Yes, and well, they should also not earn from investment profit or returns. How true is that? Maybe I can hear from Mr. Jafar as well as Mr. Fahmi.
Okay. Please.
Mr. Jafar first, yes.
As for zakat, I think zakat this is one of the five pillars. I mean, one of the pillars of being a Muslim.
Okay,
Everybody has to pay. It's a mandatory thing.
that's 5 pillars, right?
Yeah, 5 pillars.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of them is paying zakat.
Okay.
It is not your money. It's the right of the people's money. So you pay 2.5 of your property or of your wealth to the less unfortunate. Then comes the investment. When you're saying investment, you're not supposed to earn from investment returns. No, investment comes in a lot of different instruments.
Okay.
There'll be strict regulations with regards to belief. For Muslim, you're not supposed to invest in gambling. You're not supposed to invest in, all the vices. You're supposed to invest something. I mean, you can become a silent partner in a food or food beverages. You can invest in stocks. But as long as you stay away from derivatives or stay away from non-Sharia compliance. That's as simple as I can say.
Mr. Fahmi, do you have anything to add to
No,
that?
I mean, really, the zakat is a very critical and very important component for our Malay community in Singapore. And I think every Malay families actually pay zakat. And that's important to, in a way, kind of cleanse our money in that sense,
Okay.
so that we put it in good use. We help other
Help the needies?
help the needies. So in terms of investment, there's a framework to it, and of course you got to choose and you be comfortable on which investment you want to do.
So
at the end of the day, if really you make some good money out of the investment through the dividends or through the interest and whatever,
Okay.
you got to actually take some of it and
donate some.
donate it back to the community or donate it to the religious organization. So in that sense, it becomes supporting and now self-sustaining in that sense.
Okay, just a quick question. Then, so the Muslims are okay to do cryptocurrency or to trade and buy shares. It's okay.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Jafar, you want to add anything to that?
That is something new.
Yes.
I think the scholars are actually deliberating also. We have not. I have not found a concrete answer also whether the cryptos are okay or because me in the financial industry also we have to at least have a clearer picture of what this is all about. As for now, I think the scholars are debating
You're
about
still talking about it.
We're still talking about because it's something new. Even Elon Musk also, or all those high flyers also, they say, look, this is something new. We should not speculate too much.
Okay, that's good. So don't speculate anything, everybody. But right now, we got one final question for the road. Okay, apparently the Malays have most times, been stereotyped to be non-affluent, especially here in Singapore. So do you think there's some truth to this statement? And do you see do you think there is a change in the socio-economic status right here for the Malay in the Muslim community or the Malay community?
I mean, for us, there's obvious improvement.
Yes.
At least for the past 10 years. I think you can see it from the census findings this year or 2020. There's a huge improvement in terms of salary and of course in terms of education. So as what I think FD was talking about it just now, right? You can see a marked improvement in terms of spending power and salary increase. However, having said that, there is also a certain gap. And we as in the Malay community, we continue to improve ourselves. That's why in the Malay community in Singapore, we have this M-Cube framework, where actually we structure the current three big organizations, MUIS, Mendaki and Mesra, in a sense to have some programs, resources to help and uplift our community. So in that sense, it's been working. It's just started about 3 years back, but it's the vision of really uplifting the Malay community. So, having said that, we also continue to encourage the community itself to uplift, to upskill, to learn new skill, and then after that, at the same time, take up good personal learning so that they can go on to a new sector, the sector which is post-pandemic sector, the new normal sector. So these are the things that we are working on, and I think he has personally, we can see a good improvement. But having said that, there's still room for a lot of improvement. Yeah.
But of course, we always want to be the better versions of ourselves.
Yes.
Mr. Jafar, what do you have to say to that?
I just want to reiterate what he says.
Yeah.
I mean, throughout the years, for the past 10 years, you can actually there's a big improvement with regards to the social economics of the Malay community, but also I think. Even with that growth, also there is a big gap between the affluent and the big mass. So, what with the programs that the government is actually giving, we are closing up that gap. So, with that kind of statement, because it all comes back to the large of big numbers. We are minorities. There's only a few. Maybe there's only a few affluent. Individual, but whether they can. Whether they touch a lot of lives, I come from MTFA. So what I can say is that organization is about 100 over years. We're talking about affluent Muslim. They actually bequest their properties, which lasted the organization since 1904.
Wow.
So the organization survived, started from 1904. We have 2 orphanages, we have dialysis centers. So this kind of affluence will actually affect, which actually create an impact for the community. We want that kind of, that kind of spirit or that kind of inspiration to build up.
Yeah, it's actually giving back to the community. So you're talking about the top affluent percentage. If they wanted to give back to the community and be part of that, team that move and uplift the community, that would be good. Yeah.
helping one another
Exactly.
in the community. Well, but of course, remember, like earlier on our guest mentioned, it doesn't matter your color, your race right here. It's all about you being Singaporean and of course treating each other with respect, okay? And right now, we want to say a big thank you to Jafar. Thank you so
very
much.
much. Yeah.
And also, we want to say a big thank you to our mayor, our guest of honor, Mr.
Yes.
Fahmi.
Thank
He has
you.
a very important meeting to attend. But we're going to be taking a short break, but don't go anywhere. We've got some dances happening, and we have yet to speak to our Chinese friend. All right, so stay tuned.
Thank
Enjoy the rest of the show. Some dances. We're gonna have our racial dances, our ethnic dances, our cultural dances right here. You're gonna see some Eurasians dancing. You're gonna see some Malay dances. We're gonna see some Chinese dances, as well as we're gonna be seeing our Malay, Chinese, Indian, Eurasian. I think I mentioned all four. Well, my name is Sharina Bynes, and coming up to you right now, we're gonna see some entertainment right here. Let's go.
I think the dance is really nice and the costumes are really beautiful. And you look beautiful yourself.
Thank you. You look so handsome too.
Thank you so much. I understand that you learn Malay dance. Actually, I've always wanted to learn how to do Malay dance as well.
Perfect. And I'm the right person for you to teach you Malay dance today.
Alright, I'm so excited to learn. Can you teach me some?
Okay, so first, let's do the legs first. Okay?
Alright?
Okay, so 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You good?
Yeah.
Okay, how about the hands? So just act with the hands, okay? So
Okay.
it's 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Is that? You're doing good.
Thank you.
We move to another step.
Alright.
Okay, so this is a little bit complicated, but I think you can do it.
Alright.
Okay, so first is your leg. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
Okay? Okay, so let's do it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is that correct?
Yes, you're doing perfect.
Alright, thank
Okay,
you.
so let's start from the top.
Okay.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Wow.
I didn't taught you the last
I
one.
just
but
copy
really-
you.
No.
Maybe I have the Malay dancer blood in me.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, so I think you're dancing. What are you dancing today?
Oh, I'll be presenting my Eurasian dance with my friend.
Oh, I see. I
You're
can't
in
wait
for a
to
treat.
see.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Jingly nona, yo kare casa. Jingly nona, yo kare casa. Casa non te importa, nona clay kare pasa. Casa non te importa, nona clay kare pasa. Tem para non tem. Amo mia corosa. Oh nonna mia, nonna chi longe costa vai. Oh nonna mia, nonna chi longe costa vai. Se eu nunca tomo cam nonna, nunca filo di mio pai. Se eu nunca tomo cam nonna, nunca filo di mio pai. Tem quanto tem, fala não tem. Amo mia corosa. E tra linea so diamante di qualidade. E tra linea so diamante di qualidade. Já vem na minha braço preto, branco, minha vontade. Já vem na minha braço preto, branco, minha vontade. Tem quanto tem, fala não tem. Amo minha corosa.
That was so much fun.
Yeah,
I was
thank you for
looking all over
dancing
for
with
you.
me.
Where were you?
I was just here learning Malay dance.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds so cool.
Right, let me introduce you my Malay friend.
Hello. Oh, hello.
Mm-hmm.
Nice
This is
to meet
Nadia.
Hi, Nadia. Hi, I'm Nat. Nice to meet you. Hi, Nat.
All right.
Oh, you were telling me that you learned some Malay dance with her?
Yeah, let us demonstrate for you.
Oh, yes, please. I would love to see it.
All right, so let me see if I remember all the steps. Right?
Shall we scoot backwards a little bit?
Yes, yes,
Wonderful.
All right, are we center now?
Yeah, I think so. She's featured right now.
Mm-hmm. She's the star of the show. Come,
Of course.
let's go.
So do you remember?
I think I do.
Okay.
And
So
5, 6, 7, 8.
1,
2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Perfect. Wow,
you.
it's so graceful.
Mhm.
Good job. And you're a wonderful teacher.
She is.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, maybe next time we could teach you the Eurasian dance as well.
Mhm.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's have the camera pan back to me right here. Looks like I'm all alone in the studio already. We had our talents back in. But you know what? Who's to join me right now? We have KP Sandu. You're back. Well, it looks like you are taking back the hot seat.
Now, would I ever leave you alone, Sharina? No.
Actually,
Never.
today was supposed to be good news, bad news, real news.
I know.
And you were supposed to be on the show.
Yeah.
But because it's Racial Harmony Day,
We
step
thought
aside,
we-
KP.
Yeah.
I'm just
It's okay.
kidding.
It's okay. Happy to be here. So how are Sharina? Before we bring on our next guest,
Yeah.
I got to ask you a question.
Oh, you have to ask me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room. What are you going to do tomorrow onwards?
Tomorrow onwards, I'm just gonna go stay home and cook.
Really? Can you
Yeah.
survive 1 month just cooking?
I'm happy actually. I'm happy just being alone at home.
Do you eat your own cooking?
I think I cook pretty well actually.
All right.
You should
Well-
come over. I can have 2 guests per day.
You know what? I'll do that, and maybe I'll invite you over to my place as well.
Oh yes.
That's what racial harmony is all
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
Right? Okay.
We want to say a big thank you to all our dancer talents. Early on, we had
So good.
we see the Chinese dance, we
Yeah.
saw the Indian dance, we saw the Eurasian dance, and then with the Malay dance, she actually taught us how to count. Oh no, I mean how to dance. I mean she got 1, 2, 3, 4,
1, 2, 3,
5,
4.
6, 7,
Yeah,
8.
yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool stuff right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can dance, not KP?
Well, I think I can if I tried.
Yeah.
I can never match up to that level of talent. But you know what?
What?
On your next segment,
Yes.
let's try to do that. Let's do a dance challenge. You and me. We go 1 month. We learn a different dance form. We come back.
Okay.
We have a dance off. All right.
But that's
Challenge.
for the later on,
Later,
so everybody will
later.
stay
Yeah.
on, right?
Yes.
But for now, remember that we have one more final friend right here to join us on the hot seat. Well, in this dialogue session, we have the chairman of SG Empower Geylang Merchant Committee Society, and he is also the key executive officer of Focus Project Marketing in the property industry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Sean Thom. All right, Sean. Yes,
sir.
right
All
there.
yours, all yours.
In the middle. You're taking the center attraction here. How are you doing, Sean?
Good. It's been a busy day. Sorry, it's been. Hi.
Let's see if we can hear him. Oh, all's good.
Oh, good. Okay, sorry. It's been a very busy day.
Busy day. Busy is good.
I guess tomorrow is no go for everybody. So today it was like 3 appointments. It became 5.
Wow. So you try to
So-
clear out everything
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. Everybody have to meet everybody just to get deals done and things like that.
Wow. Very good. Very good.
Yes.
Well, be busy is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least it oils your social cohesiveness.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So Sean, joining us. This is KP, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. John. How you doing?
Good.
And I'm Sharina.
You can do this.
Air pump.
Air pump,
Okay.
okay.
And of course, you are a third generation Singaporean Chinese.
Yeah.
Yes. How do you feel being a third generation
Correct.
Singaporean Chinese? How do you feel?
Okay, I mean, we are very much Singaporean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we will never call ourselves Chinese per se, correct? I mean, it's quite different compared that. I mean, my grandfather, actually, my dad came from China.
Okay.
At probably 7 years old.
Right.
Okay, so he's very much a Singaporean.
Okay.
And I guess I am very much. I mean, it's quite different from saying we are second generation, third generation Canadian or Australian.
Right.
But as a Singaporean, I think we just think differently. We just call ourselves Singaporean, right?
Yes.
That's the beauty about this country.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So being a Singaporean Chinese, you actually represent the majority race of Singapore. Right.
Okay.
I just want to ask you this question. Do you think a higher preference is being given to the Singaporean Chinese as compared to the other races?
Oh, kind
Wow.
of sensitive
Yes.
question. But
Like I told you, this is no ordinary dialogue session. So
Okay.
we're just going to go right in and this is your opinion.
I guess it's like in terms of numbers, the Chinese has the most number.
Correct?
So I think in that light, kind of we would tend to see some kind of preference, but
Okay.
I cannot be very racist. In like some other country,
Yes.
they have the white and the black.
Yes.
I think that country,
Yes.
I shall not name, is a lot worse.
A lot worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this country, I tell you, as long as whatever the 4 races that we have,
Yes.
wherever you are, when you are called a Singaporean,
Yes.
you're all right. When you are kind of coming over to work and you're not originally a Singaporean, I think that's a bit different.
A bit different.
Yeah, but
Okay.
really, like, just give an example. Yesterday, we were at Punggol doing exercise with my wife.
Okay.
Okay, so we saw some people walking without a mask. Everybody is kind of tired. I mean, sometimes if you walk, I think aggressive exercise you can walk without a mask, right?
Yes,
But if
brisk
you are
walking, yes.
brisk walking, by right you have to have the mask.
Okay.
But some aunties, Singaporean, some Indian family, Singaporean, my wife was like, okay, let them be.
Okay.
But there were some people who came and work.
Okay.
I mean, they are not Singaporean,
Okay.
so it's different.
Okay.
we,
So,
we feel that they all must better wear their mask.
but
I
why
mean-
is okay? But why do we want to? How?
What
Where
I'm
does
trying-
this
what I'm
feeling
trying
come
to say
from?
is that actually,
Right?
as long as you are Singaporean,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. The preference is not. Frankly, I feel that
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter as long as you are Singaporean.
Yeah.
KP, what do you have to add to that though?
I would say that whether you're Indian, Malay, Chinese, if it's time for you to put on your mask, you put on your mask.
It doesn't actually, it doesn't matter whether you are Singaporean or a foreigner, right?
Even if it was a member of my own community breaking a rule. All
No,
along.
but like, that was a bit grey.
No,
lah,
of course,
because,
it was grey.
Yeah,
but,
because
but
it was
nevertheless,
walking and we cannot say whether it's...
as compared to saying, oh, how typically of them not to follow the rules. We're not going down that road. We're just saying,
Yes.
Cool.
no matter what race you belong to, if you're Singaporean, put on your mask.
Oh.
Because if you don't do that,
Yeah.
we'll go back to phase 1.
Yeah.
Actually, not just because you're Singaporean. Actually, whoever who resides here in Singapore,
Exactly.
whatever
Okay.
nationality,
You're right,
just
Sharina.
follow the rules, right? Okay.
Okay, on this mask, I think everybody should order. But I'm just giving you an example.
No, no, of course.
That's a good
Yeah.
example.
My
actually.
example is the saying that, okay, we're a bit biased.
Yes,
as long as
I
you're
think
Singaporean,
bias is the word.
we are cool, right?
We are cool.
Yeah, but sometimes people come over, brand new.
I know.
Okay, so this is where the Singapore community come in together.
Yeah.
But it's not quite right, is it? Because we also should be accepting of everybody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know, KP. What do you think?
I think if you go to somebody's house, for
Yes.
example, you are invited to somebody's house,
Yeah.
or if you're staying in somebody's house for a few days or a few weeks, I think it's only polite and ethical to follow the rules of that house.
Correct.
Whatever that person has got, please wash your clothes, please do your laundry, for example. This is the bigger example. Now, somebody is coming to the country and they are taking it, and this is our home.
Correct.
I think it is basic courtesy to follow the rules of the nation. Like how you would follow rules as you go to somebody's house.
Okay, hi, F5.
High five. Nice one, not bad.
Very good, very good.
Okay.
Oh, well, this is what it is. I mean, we are just airing out our hearts, right? And we're
Yeah,
just speaking true to our hearts right there. I got one more question for you. So the question is, what do you think of Singaporean Chinese who cannot speak Mandarin?
Quite sad.
Quite sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, I mean, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew has
Yes.
did the Chinese campaign that well, that good. I mean, I speak Cantonese. My elder brother speak Cantonese when
Right.
we were a kid. My younger brother came like a bit later, 6 years different. He literally speak Mandarin only.
He speaks Mandarin only.
Less of Cantonese.
Okay.
Yeah, can. So,
Okay.
so I'm saying, so if that generation starting from, I believe 1970 something, 80, all the way, I mean, there's an environment for it. There's Chinese TV program.
Yes.
And I mean, sad to say, there's some family, because the parents tend to speak a lot more English.
Yes.
And they end up not speaking Mandarin. So, but I think most can get by.
Most can get by. Okay.
Yeah, because of the second language that you go to school.
Right, your mother tongue.
Yeah. So like, I
So isn't it ironic that now, today,
Yeah.
I think there are so many examples of non-Chinese who can speak Mandarin now.
Yeah, right.
There are so many of that. So how the roles have reversed now? Yeah,
Because it is now a very commercial language.
it is.
China
It is.
is
Okay.
superpower.
It is
now.
also the
Yes.
language
Yeah.
of business,
Yeah,
if I may
exactly.
say. Yeah,
I mean, it's like in those days when Japan was the big.
Yeah, they were the superpower.
Yeah,
Right,
so everybody start learning Japanese.
Hi.
Yeah.
Okay, desu ka ne?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Mandarin is useful, correct?
Yeah.
We have come to
It
terms
is.
to that, right? But let's talk about our national language, which is Malay.
Malay.
Hey.
Right? So KP can speak a little bit of Malay.
Also,
Okay.
sikit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean, how about you?
Sikit.
Sikit.
Yeah.
Very good. I also can speak sikit Malay. Now the question is, so should we be learning our national language? Yeah, I mean now they're all about speak a good Mandarin or speak a good English. How about speak our national language? What do you think of that there? And again, this is just your opinion.
Me?
Yes.
I guess it's a bit late to learn
A bit
very
late.
good. I mean, if I
Very
play,
good point, very good point.
If I play a bit more soccer, maybe I'll learn a few more Malay words. But other than that, unless we go back to the days when become like the second language,
Yes.
the old days when,
Yes.
so it's a bit hard.
Okay, what do you think, KP?
Okay, for that, I'll answer your question in this way.
Okay.
Sharina and sir, if I mention this country called India,
Okay.
if I asked you what was the national sport of India, what do you think it would be?
Cricket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh, it's not.
It's hockey.
Okay,
It's
hockey.
what?
Hockey.
Hockey.
That's my point.
Right.
Malay is the national language, but commercially, Chinese has taken over.
Okay.
It has become more popular for many reasons. For business or for interactions.
Right.
Just like how it happened to hockey in India. Hockey is the national language, but immediately you all say cricket. Why?
Yes.
It became the more popular sport, the more commercially viable sport. Same thing, it happened for our country when it comes to English, Chinese and Malay.
But because of that, don't you think maybe, just maybe, I mean, it doesn't hurt anybody right now. Would that, well, diminish a little bit the nationalism of Singapore?
Yeah.
Because it is our national language, and
It is.
a lot of people don't even know that, right?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I guess along the way, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew have kind of made English the national language, as in a commercial
Yes.
national language.
Yes, which is great.
Yeah, it's a common language
Yes.
where every race speaks.
Yeah, very useful.
Yeah, so I think it just happened and it's not going to reverse anytime soon. That's my feel.
And do not forget, at least we should know the meaning of our national anthem because that's in Malay.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
I think it starts there.
Yeah.
Because what if we went overseas and said, hey, what is the meaning of your national anthem?
Yeah. No, just singing it blindly, just follow lyrics.
Amajula Singapura. I never knew what it meant.
Yes.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
And you never know, it might open avenues.
Yeah, maybe the national anthem it is the identity of Singapore,
I
right?
just wondering now
Yes.
in the schools, do they actually do the Chinese version? And that straight away they can understand this. There's a Chinese version of
There's a Chinese
There
version.
is
of
a
the
Chinese
national
version.
Yes.
How did I not know about this?
Well,
Because
I had
maybe
no
I
idea.
haven't been in school for a long time.
These are like, I don't know whether they still do that in school.
Wow,
Yeah.
interesting.
That is interesting, sir.
Yeah.
The last time I sang
Madura,
the national
Singapore,
anthem.
there's
Yeah.
I mean, 前进了新加坡. It's the same.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I remember something along that line.
Wow, that's
Do you have that
another-
in your school back then?
I think so. I think that's why I learned this.
How come I don't know?
How
Huh?
I
It's
never
not a
knew.
song. It's not a song. It's not a song. Is that
Oh, like a translation.
Yeah, translation.
Oh, okay.
Then you understand it a little bit more lah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Madura, Singapore.
Madura,
Yeah,
Singapore.
At least that part. At least
Yeah.
that part.
Okay. KP, do you have anything else to say to Sean?
Well, it was a pleasure having you, sir. And
Same to you.
As I keep telling everybody, because I'm so depressed about this, I hope the next 1 month is not too bad for you, lah. I hope you can tahan, lah. Tahan
okay.
is a Malay word.
Got to go for a lot of exercise and running. That's why I do.
Oh,
Great
you look very
idea.
fit already. KP, must exercise more.
Yeah, a bit more.
You're
lah.
hiding it all behind the costume, is it?
Yeah,
just,
the
just like
costume
me,
is
just like me.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right, with that, we got to say a big thank you to Sean for joining us
Thanks.
right here
Sorry
for the
for
racial.
being a bit late. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
Racial Harmony Day celebration right here. Also, a big thank you to KP
No worries, man.
for appearing first and then coming back again. I love it.
I love you, Sharina, and I'll never leave you alone.
Sounds like Liverpool, but it's not a team that I support.
Arsenal for life.
Yes, Arsenal, yes. Okay, all you footballers out there, don't kill us right there. But with that, we got to say a big thank you once again to Sean and KP. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to come back to you guys with a skit. How's that? So we're going to take a quick...
A skit?
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're not acting in it, KP.
So I should exit right now.
It looks like it, yeah. So
Oh
a big-
dear. Everybody, see you 1 month later.
Okay.
Thank you, KP, and thank you, Sean. We're going to be
guys.
doing the skit really, really soon, so stay tuned right here. In the meantime, while we're waiting for the skit to happen, because we got to clear the room, we are practicing safety measures right here, we want to share with you something that you stand a chance to win some prizes. Why not? It is a racial harmony quiz. We're going to be showing you this PowerPoint presentation. Scan your QR code, and who knows, you might be walking away with $10 worth of gift voucher. Let's show that. And it's about settling this behind the scene, behind the camera right now. What you cannot see, I will describe to you. We're actually clearing the room. Again, we're practicing safe measurements right here in the Geylang Serai virtual TC. And coming up to you, we're going to be ending it with a nice skit. I think earlier on they had a skit, and right now they're going to be continuing it, and we will see our talents right here, right now.
Hey Nadia, don't you think everybody did amazing dance today?
Yes, I was so impressed with everyone. The beautiful costumes, and you're handsome yourself.
Thank you, you look beautiful yourself. And I'm sure the new residents are also very impressed by all the traditional dances
and the diversity in the culture and races.
Yep, and I'm very happy to see my friends, old and new, doing their job to promote racial harmony to everyone.
That's right. I am so surprised to see so much differences in diversity, and they all look so beautiful.
Yep.
We're all living out this year's racial harmony theme: common spaces, connected communities.
Yep, that's right.
Anyway, to thank you for teaching me the Malay dance just now, I would like to return you the favor by including you in our Eurasian dance.
Oh, this is pretty exciting.
Let me invite my friend Nat up.
Hi, it's me again.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Alright, so first of all, if you're a lady, you have to curtsy. So
Okay.
one leg goes right behind the other one and just curtsy. Very nice. You can try it with the other side as well. And here we go. Very nice.
Wow, you're such a pro.
Yeah, maybe we don't even have to teach her the entire song. Or does she already know it?
We shall see.
Shall we play the music and just
She might surprise us. Yes, let's go.
Jingli nona, yo kere casa. Jingli nona, yo kere casa. Casa non tem porta, nona clay kere passa. Casa non tem porta, nona clay kere passa. Tem quanto tem, qual não tem. Amor minha coroça. Oh nonna que longe gosta vai. Oh nonna que longe gosta vai. Se eu nunca tomo cam nonna, nunca filho de meu pai. Se eu nunca tomo cam nonna, nunca filho de meu pai. Tem quanto tem, fala não tem. Amor minha coroça. Petra linha azul, diamante de qualidade. Petra linha azul, diamante de qualidade.
Good job.
Thank you.
Alright, I hope everybody
Well, that is a live show, everybody. That's what happens right here. A big thank you to the dancers. Very, very talented, very multicultural as well. What you saw earlier on was a representation of the Eurasian dance. So you've seen it all today. Our four major races right here in Singapore. You've seen the Chinese dance, the Malay dance, the Indian dance, as well as the Eurasian dance. And we've also spoken to our four friends of different races with the mayor that joined us earlier on this evening. My name is Sharina Bynes, and remember to take part in that contest and walk away with a $10 gift voucher. And who knows, you might be just $10 richer, hey? But for now, a big happy Racial Harmony Day to one and all. Remember to keep it strong, remember to keep it as one, and remember to just be kind to one another, just be understanding as well as accommodating, and stay safe. My name is Sharina Bynes. See you. Good night.